How's everybody doing? This is Yanko Maceda, founder of Tabanero Cigars. Where we believe in the enjoyment of craftsmanship that allows you to stop time, reflect on life, and plan the future ahead. And we've been over many times how you stop time is cutting a cigar, lighting up, start smoking. Usually by yourself you get to know more your cigar, and for some reason your blood pressure starts going down thanks to the good tobacco leaf. You are more aware of the moment, and when you're usually more aware of the moment, off from your phone, you start looking more at the sky, the grass looks greener, and you pay attention to details. And the next thing that comes is reflection. We do some reflections about the past, we reflect about the present, and we always, it's a human thing to say, you know what, we can do better in this, we can do better in that, and then we start planning the future ahead. And today is a special day because today is Sunday, beginning of the week. We already been working on planning what is coming next, what we're going to do on Monday, Tuesday, how we're going to go about it during the week. So Sunday is a pretty important day. For the ones who love what we do, we're not scared of Monday. We love Monday because we can't wait for Monday to be here and start executing our dreams. And today I have a good friend of the lead. I have a good friend that he's been following us for quite some time on social media, and finally he took the risk to come over and meet the brand. Ed, how are you? Introduce yourself, Ed.
Well, my name is Eduardo Reillo Negron. I go by Ed for short, try to things keep simple,
You surprised me.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Eduardo. I said, oh.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It
just
makes
to
sense.
properly introduce myself, right? So, Janko, you're right. I've been following you now for, I don't know, 3-4 years, 2017, 2018. It's kind of blurry now, because it's been so long. But, back in 2018, I would say, I find you through, one of these random Google search, and I'm looking, because at that point I was still kind of like at the beginning of my journey of to becoming like a full serious cigar smoker. And of course I'm trying to find information and here and there, and of course I can really remember what exactly my search was, but I stumped into this book, Tabanero Cigars, and I'm like, okay, Tabanero Cigars, that sounds kind of like interesting. Let's check it out. I start watching some videos, of course, you sharing, your story, definitely, and your knowledge and the passion for the.
That was key.
Yes, because at that point, that's what I'm like, looking for information, and you started just sharing your knowledge, and I was like, wow, hold on, I need to listen to this guy, and that's.
You'd be surprised, even myself. I had a recent trip to Nicaragua. And what you're saying, it makes a lot of sense when it comes to looking for information. You see a lot of people in this lifestyle trying to get into it, like I did in the beginning, and they concentrate more into the things around the cigar, but they don't talk much about the cigar. I've seen that happening a lot with the new generation, with the new millennium. There's ones doing an amazing job. One of my mentors is Nick Melillo from Foundation Cigars. Nick Melillo, kudos to you, my friend. You're doing an amazing job. You are a mentor for the brand.
I'm a fan too, by the way.
You like his stuff too, huh?
Oh yeah, like his the story behind him, how he got into the business. It takes some strength, like character. Yeah.
Just think about it. How you took the flight, came down here without really met with me, never in your life. Nick Melillo moved to Nicaragua.
Exactly.
Not even speak the language.
Exactly. So I have no excuse, I have it easier, It's an inspiration,
And I'm glad you sharing that with me because 4 years ago, I was kind of, I don't know, a little bit more than halfway in the journey. And I believe that since day one, because I consider myself a passionate person, what really made me to fall in love with the process, it was tobacco. It was tobacco. It wasn't the glamour around the lifestyle. It wasn't to dress nice and try to fake it until I make it. It was tobacco. It was the friendships, the people that you meet. The more you learn into tobacco, when you think you know, and you meet to someone that's been around longer than you go, man, I got so much to learn.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, a good advice to anybody coming into it, to kind of practice what you are doing. You are really involved when it comes to tobacco. I respect that. I respect that.
Appreciate that.
How do you say, you know what, if I'm going to go into this lifestyle, what I believe it makes more sense is for me to start learning how to make the cigar. Share that with us. Why you thought that was the right way to get into it.
Well, I will say that it has to do something with, part of our heritage, just without going into many details, and long story short, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I grew in a small little town in the center of the island where back then tobacco, it was still, on a minor scale, but it was still a thing, Heading to school every morning, there were still like a couple of cigar rollers, in each corner of the town, and the smell of the tobacco, fresh, being rolled and whatnot. So that always attracted me since a very young age, So there was something, So when I grew older, I was not obviously a cigar smoker at young age, but once I hit certain age in life, and I started looking for other stuff to do, after I got out of the military, I was like, well, I need to find a hobby, so why not tobacco? It was something in the back burner of my brain.
So you really thought of it in the beginning, and probably up to this point, as a hobby.
Yeah. I mean,
that's beautiful because every time you hear a story of someone in a business that has become an empire, it's often that it started as a hobby. So you're in the right track.
So moving forward, like I say, at a young age, didn't enjoy. I wasn't able to do it because, well, my duty, with the military, of course, didn't have that much time. Once I was done with the military, well, again, no excuse. So I started exploring, and trying to reconnect with tobacco. Like I say, that smell, it was always something in the back burner of my brain.
It's a memory that never will fade out. When you're a kid and you're exposed to the magic of tobacco, the aromas of tobacco, in a tobacco house, in a tobacco shop, it's an aroma that probably as a kid is too overpowering for you, but it will stay in your mind, in your senses forever. The day again that you're exposed to it as an adult, you go, wow, this is not as spicy as it used to be when I was a kid. This is nice.
Yes, definitely. So start exploring, trying to learn the history of the different brands out there, the big ones, the big names, and stuff. Researching, enjoying, learning more about the art of smoking, because believe it or not, it's more than just sitting here and start puffing and blowing smoke. It's in order to enjoy, you have to take time, enjoy. Anyways, Janko probably can explain to you.
You mentioned something about military. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Well, yeah.
Because that is a lot. It's really important for me and for people in this lifestyle, because we get to enjoy that thanks to people like you. So please share a little bit.
Yeah, well, in short, joined the military a little bit after 9/11. I went late in life to that, so I knew that it won't be like probably a military career, But I felt the need, the duty of serving the country, this country that gave us so much, especially people, like us. So joined the military, short, 10 years. A lot of people say, wow, 10 years, yeah, well, 10 years is, it's something respectable. So, went to, did the whole, Iraq, Afghanistan tours, that was something that...
How was cigars through that journey? Did you enjoy cigars through the journey?
Didn't have really that much time, unfortunately. We were like pretty busy trying to...
Put some fire out.
Yeah, keep some bad guys at bay, But believe it or not, we still always find, time to at least try to enjoy a cigar, even overseas,
What were the brands that you remember that you...
These cigars were like supposedly Cubans, but again, in the middle of nowhere in Iraq, I don't know.
How true is that?
Yeah, I don't want to put nobody on the spot, but these were like army officers' deals. I don't know how they managed to get
those Cuban
cigars, but anyways. So
the U.S. Army getting Cuban cigars.
This supposedly was a Cuban cigar. So of course, when you're in that austere environment, sometimes you have to take whatever is available to try to
make the best
wind down a little bit and try to relax for such a stressful environment. So of course, I experienced a few times, give a couple of puff here and there, but of course, it wasn't. They were not really ready,
No, so, and probably you were not even ready yet, because sometimes we get into something basically to copy others or to join others, and we're not really ready to appreciate the full potential of smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
A lot of young people come in here in the shop and they want to try, they want to test what is it, and the first thing they go is, I want a Maduro. And I go, do you have any idea what Maduro means?
Yeah, well, guilty as charged, I wasn't that young, but I made that mistake too.
Oh, they heard someone saying full body. I want a full body. I said, well, I don't think this is the right place to have a full body.
Yeah.
Raymond, hermano, saludos. Raymond nos está mirando. Un saludo al maestro Raymond. Raymond, how are you, brother? Raymond es mi hermano de industria. Raymond es alguien que está haciendo posible con esta colaboración a que esta marca siga creciendo. Raymond Pages, based in Nicaragua. Raymond took me in his home this last trip, and man, I've been telling everybody in here, when I was going into bed, that I took my shower and I was going to bed, I would look at the ceiling and say, God, thank you very much, because Raymond has done such a good work making me feel home. I felt like I was in my house and sleeping in my bed. The only thing that I was missing, it was my lovely wife. But other than that, I felt home. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, brother. You are very special to me, and the future is brilliant. The future is brilliant. I have to share a lot with you guys about Nicaragua, but I have Ed here today, so he's been sharing a lot of beautiful things with me, and I said this is a great opportunity for you guys to see how people can sense the passion, can see the present, and kind of imagine the future of the brand. And some of them would like to be part of it. This is not the first time that someone flies to Tampa and spend time with me and to kind of recon a little bit about the brand, see where are my intentions, and see if they fit in. But the other 2 or 3 times that someone has paid a visit like that, somehow, as people that already have a profession, they dream about getting into the lifestyle of cigars, the industry of cigars, so they got to take a big gamble to leave their profession to come here, to come over. And they asked me for guarantees that I not even have for myself. They've been asking me about what can we do after a year working with you. I said, I don't know. I have no idea. What can we do after? First of all, let's see if you last a year working with me. But Ed has shown a lot of respect, a lot of support through social media. We only had, I think, twice a conversation over the phone. And when Ed said, listen, Yanko, I'm planning to go, hold on, we're going to have a Taba brew break. Karen Lozano. Yeah. Uy, uy, uy. Gracias, Karen. Gracias, amor. Gracias, gracias.
Gracias, muchísimas gracias.
Bueno, champ. Salud. No sé si te queda un poquitico de café
Sí,
ahí.
todavía.
There you go.
Yeah.
Salud.
Salud.
Cheers. Woo! Taba Brew for me and you. Taba Brew is roasted right here in Tampa, Florida by Naviera Coffee Mills. The owner, Danny Fernandez, he believed in the journey of Tabanero and said, man, I can do your coffee. I said, Danny, I'm so small. I'm a speck in this industry. And he said, I love what you're doing. I believe in you. So I'm going to do your coffee. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny Fernandez. From Naviera Coffee Mills. So, like I was saying, with Ed, it's being different. With Ed, it's being different because he's being present there on social media. Ed, he already knows Raymond like they're friends. Like they know each other forever. And that's the type of person, the type of passion you can sense from Ed. And I have learned in life not to rush things. When I was younger, I would see opportunity and I wanted it to happen now. If I see opportunity, I want it to happen now. And little by little, through this beautiful journey, I realized that you bump into people, you bump into a product, you have an idea, and you just got to keep feeding the idea, working the idea, and have faith that it will happen at the right time. It will happen at the right time. In the beginning of Tabanero, everyone that saw my passion for cigars, they kind of had a sense of where I was going, and they always asked, when are you going to start manufacturing in Nicaragua? When are you going to start factoring in Nicaragua? I said, never. Those are not the intentions. I guess they saw something that I couldn't see, the potential of the brand. Well, I waited patiently. I tried different factories, and I said, no. And I had a sense that I needed to wait for the right time. And the right time, it was Tabacalera Pages Raffle from Raymond Pages. I took my time, and I don't regret it. And with Ed coming down here, spending time with us, I said, you know what? The same way I asked God, I said, God, for me to really grow this brand, I need people who believe in my dream. Well, he said, okay, I'll give you a hand. I'll give you a Steve Stamberger right at the beginning. I said, wow. And it was funny because Stevie was working for someone else right across the street. And I saw it so into it that I said, hey, sir, how are you doing? How is it, owning this this restaurant? And he said, no, I don't own it. I work for the men. I said, wow, you work in here like you own the place. I wish someday I can have someone like you. A couple of months later, the owner decided that he didn't want to continue with the place, and Steve Stamberg asked me for an opportunity, and the rest is history. We got to a point that we were growing so much, and I was doing so much that I said, God, I'm not giving up, but if you don't send someone, I can't keep growing. And a lady came through the door asking for work in the coffee shop. I said, yeah, okay, I'll give you the job, She barely speaks English. And I said, man, this lady's not going to last more than 2 weeks. Today is the general manager of Tabanero Cigars, and we've been talking about opening new businesses together because how much you fall into love with the process and how much you fall into the brand. So when people like Ed show appreciation, show interest, I make sure I make the time to hear what they're saying and to expose them as much as I can to what we're doing, and let him later on when he gets home make his own conclusion what will be his future. Ed, thank you, man. Thank you for taking the opportunity of coming down here. I think that's pretty brave of you because, like I was saying earlier, you can see something online, you can see something on the videos, but what about if I'm a different person when you come here?
Yeah, there's always a risk,
Yeah.
But I'm glad to report to all you people out there that this man is the real deal. You know, he is
Thank you.
the same person here in front of that camera that has it is like hanging around with you downtown, showing you places. You know, he has made me feel home. You know, and that's something big. You know, I really appreciate that, brother.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ed, what was the brands that you mentioned that kind of caught your attention right in the beginning when you got into cigars?
Well, of course, you know, through all this research and findings, you know, I started listening obviously to these big names, and of course, I started trying to try them all. But of course, there's so many. But you know, I started, you know, dribbling with Arturo Fuente, you know, Padron Cigars.
What was the one that, because you haven't told me, but the way you talk about it is the one I think that you saw a lot of passion into it, and it touched your heart. What was that? And you mentioned which was that brand that you felt you admire about the guy and.
Yeah, well, the Don Jose Orlando Padron.
Oh,
That's. I mean, it's a beautiful story. I encourage you out there, if you don't know who I'm talking about, do your Google research, you know, because that's a beautiful story of like perseverance, you know, and never giving up, you know. Beautiful story.
It's not coincidence that this gentleman, without coming from different worlds, we are neighbors because he's from Puerto Rico, I'm from Cuba, we're right there. But it's no coincidence that when I get into this industry, that's my first mentor. That's my first mentor, and let me take it back. When I get into the lifestyle of cigars, that's my first mentor. When I really think about getting into this industry, Vicente Martinez Ibor has been there with me since the beginning. I talk to him as much as I can. I get his response some way or another, and I interpret what he says, how he guides me. But Padron is someone that has been in the new world, my mentor, how to do things, how not to precipitate, how not to rush, how to get in love with the process, how to allow myself to fall in love with the process and not to make it about money. I already make that mistake many times in my younger beginning into the business, entrepreneurship, chasing money and getting tired, getting burned, because most of the stuff that I was trying to accomplish, it was strictly motivated by money. So Padron is a good example of strictly good tobacco, good cigars. And he saw that from the beginning, and I saw that from the beginning. So somehow our passions are alike.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And even when you go to Nicaragua and you drive by the Padron factory, people speak highly about Padron. When you're driving by, they go, esa es la factoría Padron. And they make it sound like it's a small boutique, but it's a huge name. It's, you know, it's funny that when I had my first retail, ignorant myself, I called Padron and I said, yeah, I want to open an account. I have a little shop here in Kennedy Boulevard. And the person, and this was only Spanish, of course.
Yeah.
And the person on the other side of the phone went, you want to open, ¿tú quieres abrir una cuenta? You want to open an account?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I want to open an account. You know, to sell Padron. Okay, all right. Yeah, let me get a fax number to fax you the application. I said, fax number, what is that?
Wait, what?
Yeah, the waiting list is 2.5 years. Waiting list for what? Yeah, waiting list to see if we got room to bring you on board.
That's, yeah. Well,
And when you in Vegas, the cigar show, you try to act ignorant, like you don't know what you're doing. You go to the Padron booth and say, I'm planning to carry your cigars. Can I have a price sheet? There's no price sheet. They give you a printout, nice printout, with all the sizes, but they don't show prices. No. You go to any other booth and they will give you the price sheet. Padrón? I don't think so. I don't think so. By the way, I'm smoking a Churchill. I had one yesterday, and I felt I didn't have enough because I was getting home. I stopped. I finished it this morning, and I said, no. Let me light up another Churchill to see how we're doing. Okay, let me share with you guys how we're doing because I was criticizing at the beginning of the live how the new breed coming into the lifestyle industry. They don't talk much about a cigar. This Churchill, it's a 50 by 7 inches. 50 gauge by 7 inches. It's basically the same blend that we have in the Robusto. Now, what a big difference when you break the leaf and feel cap and footer a Robusto, and as soon as you start smoking the Robusto, you are a lot closer to the true flavor of each leaf. But it hasn't get the right temperature to give you the whole profile. And in the Robusto, when it's going halfway and it already opens up, it's a little bit humid. It has a lot of good taste of the Umetepe, Condega, Jalapa, sweet tobaccos. On the Robusto, we don't put ligero. We don't want any peppery going through your retrohale. It's a really mild cigar. Opposite on the Churchill, you got time with a Churchill on 7 inches to warm up the cigar on the first inch, allow the cigar to open up, and now you got at least 6 inches of enjoyment. With the Robusto, when you started to really taste the cigar, you're done. And believe me, it's not the same. You light up another Robusto, and it's not going to be the same thing as a Churchill. So when people ask me about Churchill, wow, that's a long cigar, 7 inches. Well, there's a reason why. Because from the first inch and a half, you're warming up that cigar. And when you really start experimenting the flavor, you're not going to finish right away. You still got another 5 inches. And believe me, a well-done Churchill, because of the long leaf you're using inside of the Churchill, it will change progressively better and better and better on the cigar. What do I mean by progressive? Well, the beginning of the leaf, you break the legs. You don't want legs of the leaf. The little 2 legs of the leaf, you don't want them inside of the cigar because it will get bitter in the beginning. So you break those, you put the bottom of the leaf. Remember, leaf is going to have a lot more flavor to the top. To the top of the leaf. The top is going to be right here. So when you start on the Churchills, the bottom of the leaf is pretty pleasant in a sense that there's no flavors lingering in your mouth, making you scared that later on things going to get too strong for you. You start with Churchill and you get a sense that it's a mild cigar. Unless on purpose they put some ligero right at the beginning.
Okay.
So you start enjoying the Churchill and you go, man, this is nice. You start picking up aroma from the wrapper. Okay. That's the first thing you start picking up. It opens your palate, and when you burn that beginning of the leaf and you get into the good taste, the more bolder taste of the leaf, the cigar is already warm. It's at the right temperature. And now you got another 5 inches to continue enjoying that. And the more you puff, the little more humid the cigar will get. So the tobaccos will change. The oils will change a little bit when you are 4 inches, 3 inches. So Churchill is a cigar that if you have the hour and a half, you should enjoy it. You should enjoy it. Remo, y si estoy diciendo algo que no es, tú me dejas saber. Estamos hablando de la diferencia de un Churchill y un Robusto. El Robusto tú prendes y cuando ya el Robusto se calentó, que llegó a la temperatura correcta, ya casi que estás terminando el Robusto. Cuando tú prendes un Churchill que tiene 7 pulgadas, tú tienes 1,5 pulgadas más o menos para que el tabaco se caliente, para que queme el principio de la hoja, que el principio de la hoja no te da en realidad el sabor completo que va a tener el medio de la hoja. Entonces el Churchill en todas esas 7 pulgadas, tú vas a experimentar diferentes sabores relacionados con la posición de la hoja, relacionados con la humedad y la temperatura. Por eso digo que cuando tienes 1 hora, 1 hora y media para disfrutar un buen puro, debes probar un Churchill. No cojas, no te dejes intimidar porque tiene 7 pulgadas, porque va a ser algo muy largo. Por favor, prueba un Churchill para que tú veas por qué Winston Churchill Lo único que fumaba eran Churchills.
Makes sense.
Do you know how they got to the name of Churchill on a cigar, on the Vitola?
No.
Winston used to smoke Presidentes, 9 inches.
Okay.
9 inches by 47, I think. And the windows are over there. and someone, I think his personal advisor said, Mr. Winston Churchill, I think that cigar, 9 inches, it makes you look shorter.
Okay.
Such a long cigar, you know, he all well dressed it. When you look at the cover of the cigar, he will make it kind of look like this. So, well, if you cut the cigar a little bit, you're kind of going to look more like this. If you cut the cigar a little bit. So, okay, what would you recommend? Let's take 2 inches off and see how it looks. They took the 2 inches, they looked at him, oh, wow, it looks good. And he said, well, how are we going to name this cigar now? Churchill. So that's how we came supposedly to the name of Churchill.
Well, now I know. You see? That's the reason why I came down here. To learn.
Now, Churchill is a cigar that it tends to do this a lot, to go off when you're talking too much, because it's pretty humid already from the trip of the smoke coming through the cigar. So it's a cigar that you really have to be paying attention. And now it comes back to my mind, there are a lot of people avoid to do that because it's a cigar that you got to pay attention to. Raymond Page is he's saying that because we had just done the Songro Churchill, and Raymond was working right now the Connecticut Churchill, and he's saying that that's what he's smoking right now.
Hombre. Saludos, hermano. Raymond.
I also want to share with you guys that this past Monday and Tuesday, we did the entire area of Clearwater and St. Peter's. Customers always asking, when are you going to have the cigars in my area? When are you going to have the cigars in my area? I said, someday. It has to be at the right time. Well, we came from Nicaragua, and I said, well, now's the time to start sharing our passion with all the retailers. So please, if you're in the area of Clearwater, if you're in the area of St. Peter's, ask your retailer, hey, the Tabanero Cigars came by here. The Tabanero Cigar left some samples for the owner, because I did. It was the total of 13 stores. I left samples, price sheet, in every store in Clearwater and St. Peter's. So if you want us to help us, give us a push, ask your local retailer in Clearwater and St. Peter if Tabanero Cigar from Ybor City, Maceda brand, if they came by the shop. I thought it was going to be an easiest process, because in my mind I thought that I was going to show up to the store, and I don't know, I guess because of the attention that we get here in Ybor, I said, well, probably the stores will recognize who we are. It wasn't that scenario. Some stores, they kind of knew who I was because I met the person before. But all the stores said, yeah, sure, leave the sample and we'll get back to you. So I guess we will continue following up. It's gonna be something different, special, padron style, because we don't have a sales rep. It's myself visiting the store, and someone from the factory, someone from Nicaragua from the factory is gonna be following up with the retailers. So you imagine how cool them calling from the factory, and the person says, hey, can we do video calls so I can see the factory? You'll be talking to our team member in Nicaragua, and she'll be able to show the factory when they're talking about different blends, different cigars. So Ed, how was your experience with a bunching machine? Because Ed has some tuning with a bunching machine. We had the conversation about handmade and bunching, and he didn't hesitate. He jumped into the machine instead of making bunches. How was your bunches looking? How do you feel?
Well, to be honest with you, I was not expecting. I mean, I'm not gonna say that they're perfect, but just like from the get-go, the very first one that when I pushed that lever, boom! That first one was looking like really sharp, really even, without really
You were
too much.
surprised.
Yeah, without too much effort. You know, I have rolled myself. I mean, I'm a aficionado, or a rookie, I would say. I'm not a professional roller, but I have shared some time, trying to learn the craftsmanship of, how to roll a cigar. And I can tell, I keep telling this to all my friends. You see these cigar rollers on videos, these guys are professionals. Some of these guys have been rolling since they were like 12, 13, 14 years of age. So by the time they, become a cigar roller, I mean, they make it look so easy, so fast, bam, 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 that you say, oh yeah, I can do that.
The word is they make it look simple.
Yeah, but oh boy, if you don't know what you're doing, the final product is gonna be nothing close to this, So from the get-go, boom, the first bunch, boom. Again, not perfect, but really sharp, So I'm a believer. You're making me a believer of that lever technique, the Lieberman machine.
You be surprised how much Cuban cigar rollers are completely opposite. Completely, they don't want it. They don't want it. They say no, no, no. I said, listen, you gotta be open-minded. Nicaragua has took this industry to another level, and they're doing an amazing job. They do an amazing job to train a cigar roller Cuban style. It takes 9 months. Mm-hmm. You know how much tobacco you're gonna go through to train someone for 9 months? Mm-hmm. That is crazy. Mm-hmm. So, with a bunching machine, what do you think? Let's think. You already have your share by going online, seeing some video, and practicing by yourself with your own tobacco at home. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say we want to train you here with a bunching machine. Mm-hmm. How long you think you'll be ready, not to be perfect, but to start making cigars with a bunching machine?
With a bunching machine, I would say, I don't know, maybe a week. I mean,
a week.
Yeah.
It's on it. It's on it because usually what it takes is 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. Mm-hmm. If someone has the potential, what they take in Nicaragua to build someone is a month. Mm-hmm. It's a month.
Yeah, like I say, because I need to interject. Keep in mind, I've been rolling my own cigars at home for a little to 2 years. So that's what I'm saying, a week. Someone that is like brand new, straight from the street, yeah, obviously it's gonna take them longer,
Right, what they do is they place the person around the best cigar rollers, the best bunchers, and they keep them there for I think for a good month, just watching.
Yeah.
When they I don't know if they go to school. When they finish school, they go straight to the factory. 16 years old, 17.
Okay.
And they, in the afternoon, they just watch. And after 3 weeks, 2 weeks, they ask them, you want to jump? You want to try it? Mm-hmm. And they see,
Okay.
That's how they're doing. That is impossible to make it with a Cuban style cigar roller. That's impossible.
No, definitely not. I have tried the Cuban technique for, like I said, the last 2 years, and I'm still nowhere near. I mean, it's been on my own, basically. It's not like I have a mentor or a teacher right there back home, So all that I've been is relying on this whole bunch of like YouTube videos, that, and again, it's mostly people just like me, people like, has a hobby, they start rolling their own, and of course, it takes them years, But of course, we're not really doing it thinking on a production,
Yeah.
It's something more for our personal use, personal consumption,
Yeah, on your own time. You don't have the pressure that you need to learn because your family depend of your trade. It's something that you're going, on your own time.
Yep.
Guys, Nicaragua trip, it was a total success. Nicaragua trip, it was a total success. I think this is the last one this year. We need to work here in Tampa. We have a lot of good work in Tampa. So that was my last trip to Nicaragua. I'm intending to go to Nicaragua next year at least 4 times. At least 4 times or more. because we are ready. We are ready. We found the laser machine. We found the laser machine and right in front of my nose to send to Nicaragua. It's going to go straight from China to Nicaragua. I think this week we found the Baltic birch in Nicaragua too. So that is
big.
that is big. We couldn't find Baltic birch in Nicaragua. We did. So that is huge. Nicaragua, it's a future. It's a future when it comes to the brand. The collaboration that we're doing with Raymond Pages is a future. We've been talking about doing some more in-depth collaborations with growing tobacco, with fermenting tobacco. Operations that we can do it together, Raymond and I, but we're keeping separate what I do here and what he does in the factory. And it's basically to get to know more each other. Because we both believe that the future for both, it depends on a relationship as makers, as cigar aficionados. So Nicaragua is a total success. I spent almost 10 days in Nicaragua. You lose one day going, one day coming, and you lose half a day getting your test for the COVID-19, the Delta. I don't know what name they're gonna give them now. So it was like I was like home. I bond a lot more with the cigar rollers, with everybody in the office. They're getting to know me. They same thing as with Ed. They realize that what they see in here, what they see on social media, it's a simple guy that loves this industry and has a big dream, you know. Thank you for that like. We in here in Tampa, when I was away, I realized that Naun, our guy that is helping us out with the boxes, has surprised me bringing boxes to another level. Naun now, when the box is finished, he's also spraying some clear coats on top of the box. He's doing more intrigue boxes, and they looking beautiful. This is the Nero box. You can see that it has some clear, a second layers of letters, font, and it's beautiful. Every retailer that I will visit, and when I would take my boxes out of the leather luggage, everybody would go, wow, those are unique. That was the word that they use. That's unique. We haven't seen that type of cigar box in the industry. And I feel proud of that because I believe this brand is different. This brand is different in a sense that when we do business with our cigars, you're not just selling the cigars. The experience that we have in retail for the last 10 years that has brought us to the success that we are, that experience, all the tools that we use here, we can share with the retailers. Something that I also make emphasis, if you only buy 2 cigars to put in your store, you have to understand that the whole inventory of Maceda cigars, Tabanero cigars, you can have it at your disposal on your website. Your website is just parking there. It's not doing anything. It only has your hours, your phone number, and you're not able to sell cigars because it's difficult to sell cigars on a website. Well, through an affiliate program with Tabanero Cigars, you can put the link for cigars on your website and start selling cigars and collect 50% of the sale through your PayPal, your bank account every month. And you don't do anything. You just answer to your customers when they try our cigars and you say it's a local brand. Usually the customer, when they sit down and try the cigar, they go, wow, I like this. Do you have a box? No, I don't have a box, but you can order on my website and it goes straight to your home. And also, you can see many other cigars from that brand on my website. And now you're selling cigars that you're not even having in your inventory. You're selling cigars that you're not even invest on having the cigars in there. So think about that. This brand is not just bringing cigars to your retailer, we're bringing a lot more. Robusto, Toro, the Nero, we have it on Robusto and Toro. Nero is an amazing blend in a sense that it's something that we didn't do in the past because it has San Andres Maduro wrapper from the Torrente family. It has an Ecuadorian binder. It has some of the fillers that I always dream about it, but it wasn't available here. It has some Pennsylvania Viso, pretty sweet Viso, with Umetepe, Estelí, Condega, and if I'm not mistaken, a Dominican Olor Dominicano. And Big Daddy, we changed a little bit of the box of Big Daddy. We revamped it. Now Big Daddy has a 2D layer with the logo. We put some stain, did some of the corners. No more a bunch of tooth. Now it only have 8 tooth holding the top. Big Daddy's 6 fat inches of pure pleasure, 60 by 6.5. The Big Daddy has gone to another level. So a lot of exciting things. This week we have spent a lot of time with Ed. I had a great time, Ed. Thank you. I believe that when you go back home, you'll be talking to everybody about the experience.
Oh man, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them bored probably. Keep talking because unfortunately over there in my area, there's not that many cigar smokers, you know. So, and some of my friends they just just to support me. They listen to what I have to say, but when I start going crazy talking about ligero, viso, they're like, okay, yeah, sure. They said that they're tracking, but I know that they're not. So, but that's my fault, you know. Sometimes I get so passionate about it. I get like, dude, you have to see because this, and they are like, okay, yeah.
They go, give me a simpler version.
Yeah, I still have to learn that part. Tone it down a little bit because, yeah, I don't want to overwhelm, you know.
But what your friends will sense is you found something that you're falling in love with. You're falling in love with. Yeah. It's like when we fall in love for the first time, we can stop talking to our mom or family about our girl. We're falling in love.
Exactly. That's the best way to describe it, you know.
We're falling in love. Guys, thank you very much. We've been doing it for what, 45 minutes? Man, 45 minutes. We talk a lot. So, thank you for all the support today. We still got plenty of time today, Sunday, to smoke more cigars. If you, any other questions that you guys had, Noel mentioned that the Nero is great. Thank you, Noel. Thank you, my friend. Raymond, Nero's, it was all you. It was all you, brother. Another winner that has become the favorite here in the store is a Sobrino, Torpedo Sobrino.
Yeah.
That Torpedo Sobrino it's something for someone that has been smoking for some time.
Yes.
So they can appreciate how complex that cigar is. Being 5 inches and box press is a totally different experience. It's so short for the bold tobaccos that we put in there that as soon as you smell the fooder, you go, wow, dark chocolate, nutmeg, roasted almonds. You just picking up through your nose. And as soon as you light up, you got that cocoa, that cedar. It's amazing. And that natural San Andres wrapper, most of the time we used to enjoy San Andres being ripe, being maduro, being already fermented and steamed a little bit to be darker. The natural San Andres wrapper is something else.
Yep. If you allow me to interject,
Please.
I don't have a dog into this fight, but I will advise if you are into like padrones, you should try that Sobrino. I had the chance to try it the other day, and it blew my mind away. It's I'm not gonna dare to say that it's even better now. I'm just you should try it.
No, cigars, I don't think is about being better. Or, I understand what you're saying because Raymond, a good friend of Raymond, also mentioned it when he had the cigar. He said, "Wow, this is right in the alley of Padron family," and I think it's because of the well fermented tobaccos in the filler and the natural San Andres. A lot of people don't believe that Padron use a lot of natural San Andres. So there's a lot of similarity of the profile of that cigar with the Padron gene, the Padron profile.
Yep.
So guys, thank you very much, Ed. Thank you very much, Ed. Did you enjoy it?
Oh my goodness, I'm like I always say, you know, when I'm living the dream. Honestly, I'm living the dream.
And don't be surprised if you see Ed pretty soon back around here. But guys, remember,
I don't know what he's talking about.
remember that we believe in the enjoyment of craftsmanship that allows you to stop time. I don't know what time it is, so I stopped time today.
That's what happens when
life.
you're enjoying time. Yeah.
Reflect on life and plan the future ahead. So I see you guys next Sunday. Thank you very much.
Yeah.